and let us all do we can to build a better future.
Kit.
Yes.
YouTube did something stupid.
Hold on. Can we get the camera on me for a second? Hold on. What did YouTube do now?
All right, so Professor Brian W. Van Norden. He is an endowed chair professor at Vassar, as well as a professor at a university in China. I forget the name of it, but he is a renowned academic philosopher, and his specialty is Chinese philosophy. And he had a YouTube channel. Over 1,000 subscribers, but he put a lecture series that he did. It's been up for a while too, covering a series of video lectures on Chinese philosophy. And YouTube, without warning, deleted not only the videos, but his entire channel, because he had 3 strikes, which happened all at once. So let me explain what happened here.
Okay, please take away, because I'll probably snap.
Okay,
the story.
He used in his lectures clips from a film called Boneheaded. It's a historically important film, as he notes in one of his tweets here, and you can follow this tweet. This is just wild. It's an early film about interracial marriage, and he includes some clips. Now, he probably figured that this was fair use. And I mean, and again, this is from 1934. Fair use, if you're using it for educational purposes, which he was, that is understandable. But if you're using it for commentary, that can be acceptable. But what happened was a third-party bot found these clips, and the third-party bot notified YouTube's bot, which basically rang up all these copyright violations. And because of the 3 strikes you're out policy with no human review, this renowned professor had his lecture series wiped off of YouTube, his channel wiped off of YouTube, so he couldn't go into protest through the channel because they took the channel down. And this professor, he's a little bit older, I guess he did, and he had basically filmed everything directly to YouTube, so he no longer had the videos.
Okay. All right.
And so what happened is that the gentleman eventually just posted his tale of woe on Twitter. People got so upset about it that they raised a ruckus. He now has his channel back.
Very good. Okay, so there's a couple of things because I can relate to this. And we're still suffering from it because we still get messages from a lot of our viewing audience. Hey, I thought you guys disappeared. Hey, I was just unsubscribed. Why was I unsubscribed? And mind you, we have no control over that. We have received not 1, but 6 strikes in our past by YouTube. Now, thankfully, every time we were unable to go live, we quickly rallied on Twitter, and our entire viewing audience and our allies in independent media.
Many of our everybody.
And many channels that have been hit even harder than us.
Yes.
Came to our cause, came to our rally, and supported us. But even after we were able to get monetized, do you guys want to know how bad it is? It's like we're still recovering. These are like 6 direct gut checks to us. We still have a warning on our YouTube page. Now, YouTube, and again, I'm nitpicking here because we try to get that warning removed. Now, again, that warning doesn't stop us from getting monetized or anything else, but this warning is now permanent because there was a video that YouTube deleted that I know FaZe, Daniel, and myself, this was way back in 2020, deleted. We cannot get rid of that warning, and now it's permanent. That warning is now a permanent scar on us. I know, it sucks. And we've talked about this.
Yeah.
Now, let's look what happened to this professor. He didn't do anything wrong. And this is the problem that we have with YouTube. It is quick to censor. It is quick to listen to bots. There aren't real people manning that ship. And YouTube is a very large video platforming site. And think about his entire livelihood that was almost destroyed because of YouTube's
It wasn't his entire livelihood,
yeah, right,
but it was an important part of his work.
It is.
It's an important part of his work.
And that is probably a point of reference. And the thing is, he needs that stuff. So, okay, yeah. While this did happen to him, there was a very good chance that he probably, that YouTube probably would never acknowledge it unless people raised a ruckus on Twitter.
And he was in a position to do that.
And I'm thinking about how many other people are still hit? How many people are still at risk of being censored? And I have to say to everyone that's watching, double check and triple check that not only you still subscribe to Hardlands Media, but everyone else. And this is a severe environment. And when I say things are getting rough on YouTube, it's going to get progressively worse. I'm using that word again, progressively worse. I need to put in a different word now altogether. But it's not right to content creators. And a lot of content creators who aren't even involved in independent media are being silenced, censored. People who have million, 2 million, 3 million, 10 million subscribers are still being censored and suppressed. And everyone needs to realize that if we are going to preserve the fundamental right of free speech, no matter what genre you have on YouTube social media, people need to start demanding more and calling out YouTube for its inaction and the fact that it is unwilling to change its policies. And we really need to have a very serious conversation with the people running this platform. Because at the end of the day, I can't promise how long we're going to be on YouTube. And I have to tiptoe around eggshells. Now, thankfully, we have a whole new system in place where we can talk about maybe controversial stories. I know Lainey or Jerry or Lauren or Daniel will give me a heads up like, hey, this needs to show up on Rockfin. And guess what? We do that.
Yeah.
But I wish it wasn't like that.
Well, I wish it wasn't too. And as I said, Kit, I mean, it wasn't his livelihood, but it was an important part of his work. I mean, this is an expert in his field. Right. And a renowned professor, published author, and this is an important part of his work. It's an important bit of information, education for the public, which many people might not have access to except through YouTube. And I think that's important to point out that YouTube has made its money and was sold, I think, for billions on the backs of independent creators, many of whom are not making a living, who are just putting information out there for people. They've made their money off the backs, but they can't be bothered to set a policy of having a human review before suspending a channel. I can understand having bots out there to stop things, to avoid intellectual property lawsuits, to deal with things like pornography or animal abuse or things that should absolutely not be up there. But before you take out the whole channel and completely destroy all the video, maybe you have a human review. After all, it is human beings that are supplying YouTube with its content. Why not show some common courtesy to the people who are doing your work for you?